So, hello and welcome to everyone who is here. I am Bante Warapanyo, your friendly neighborhood American Buddhist monk. And we are gathering together today for the purpose of practicing mindfulness. That is to be aware of what's happening right now, to be with what's happening right now, and also to detach, to let go, to put down our beliefs, our stories, our judgments, our past, our future, the whole shebang. We are here to detach from whatever is possible to be held onto, from whatever is possible to be picked up. We are here to put that down. So that is the fundamental purpose that we are gathering together here today for. This purpose of practicing mindfulness and detachment, to really practice meditation. And we do meditation with the greatest of intentions. And it's important that we have an intention that we bring to our practice. And we don't want to limit ourselves, so we don't practice meditation for the purpose of relaxing. We don't practice meditation for the purpose of beautifying our mind or even experiencing some kind of peace. But we find in ourselves, as much as we're able, this intention of waking up, of totally and completely transforming our suffering, transforming our delusion, our confusion, our attachment to freedom. So we can take a moment now to kind of question, to ask, what is our intention in being here? We ask this to ourselves. What is the reason that we are here? Why do we want to practice meditation? And whatever answer you find to that, whatever intention comes up, really plant that seed deeply in your heart and make the resolve, the kind of promise to fulfill your intention during this period fully. So if your intention in doing this is to become enlightened, if it is to transcend your suffering, if it is to face some fear, some confusion, whatever that intention is in you showing up right now, really make the resolve, this confident wish, promise to do it, to achieve success during this period. Start to bring up this sense and this feeling of sincerity and intimacy. Sincerity and intimacy with this moment and this practice, this opportunity to really take advantage of it. So, as we touch this sincerity and this intimacy of this moment of ourselves showing up here right now. We now find a position in which to put our body that is comfortable and stable as much as is possible. So, something to bring a lot of attention to is that we're not hunched over, that we are not sitting in a overtly uncomfortable position. So, you're not going to find the perfect meditation position today, but you can find one that is comfortable and stable. And that's what is really important to do right now. Find that comfortable and stable meditation position. And during this time, this period of time for meditating, if your position becomes untenable, whether your mental or your physical position, it's okay to adjust your body. It's okay to adjust your mind, your approach a little bit, but do so slowly and then come back to this place of stillness. Adjust your posture, adjust your position a little bit, and then find that stillness again. And really emphasize during this period of time to endure. Maybe you need to give up a little bit. You're really trying to meditate fully, and then you encounter too much difficulty. So you need to lay down, or you need to stand up, or you need to shake around a little bit. That's fine. Give up a little bit, but don't give up fully during this period of time. Don't completely walk away from the meditation, but try to endure in whatever way you can. Change your position, lay down. Maybe repeat some affirmations. May I be happy. May I be at peace. May I overcome this difficulty. But just don't give up fully during this period of time. Try to stay in this meditation space. So we have an intention in showing up right now to practice meditation. We have a sense of sincerity and intimacy with this moment, with the body and mind as they are right now. And we have found or put our body into a comfortable, stable position in which to be still. It's now time to pick up the meditation method. The meditation method is the tool, the pathway, the avenue, the exercise that allows us to continuously practice and return to, come back to mindfulness and detachment. So, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is to be aware of the present moment, what's happening in the present moment. So, your breath is in the present moment, your body is in the present moment. And when we find ourselves getting dragged into thinking or memories or judgments, preferences, we simply bring the mind back to being aware of what's going on right now. And that is to bring the mind back to the feelings, the sensations of the breath, the feeling of the breath in the body. And we are also, the meditation method is also supporting us, this tool of bringing us back to detachment. So it's not just mindfulness, it's not just to be aware of what's happening in the present moment, but it is also to detach. to let go, to put down whatever comes up, so that there is no hanging on to a peaceful feeling. There is no falling deeper and deeper into a state of sleep, or stepping more and more into this friction, this anxiety, this judgment about what we're doing. But at the moment we notice some tension in the body, or some idea that's starting to get rigid and strong and that we're starting to hold on to, as we become aware of that, we practice to put it down, to let it go. We feel a pleasant feeling, a pleasurable feeling. We're aware of it happening, and we detach from it. We let go of it. We go back to the meditation method. We feel a pain in the body, or we feel a pain in our mind, some kind of difficult memory or difficult idea, feeling about ourselves. We're aware of it. We're aware that we don't like it, but we don't give so much importance to liking it or not liking it. We're aware of the whole deal, it and not liking it. And then we put that down. We return to the meditation method. We return to facing what's happening right now, being in the present and putting down, letting go. So, what is the meditation method that we can use and that supports us in this practice of mindfulness and detachment? That meditation method is to be aware of your body sitting here right now. And to know that this is what's happening. Your body is sitting here right now. The meditation method is just breathing, so that your body is simply sitting here in a comfortable, stable position, and you are just breathing. The breath is just happening. And we look closely at this state, this experience of the body just sitting here. We look closely, we give our full attention, our full presence of mind, our interest, our curiosity to the feeling of the breath flowing in and flowing out of our body, the effect that the breath has on the body. We can feel the breath as it flows deeply into our nose, down our neck, our throat, all the way down into our lungs and our stomach. It may seem odd, it may seem unproductive to give so much consideration and curiosity and interest to just sitting here, to just breathing and being aware. But this is the practice. This is what we come back to. This is what we return to. This is our tool of practicing mindfulness and detachment. To be aware of the present moment, whatever is happening, and to let go, to put down anything that we get wrapped up in, anything that we get involved with. Allow the breath to find a natural, simple rhythm. Allow your body to settle, to calm, to be where it is more and more. We spend enough time involved in complicated thinking, moving towards the past, moving towards the future. Now is the time where we can detach, let go of, put down our complicated thinking, our story, our judgments, our preferences. And instead, we pick up the meditation method. We pick up, we return to just sitting. And we know that that's what's happening right now. We are just sitting. Nobody's going to nobody is going to come in and tell us different. We're just sitting, and that's how we practice it. Just sitting, just breathing, just being aware. Instead of giving importance to that which is other than just sitting, just breathing, just being aware, use that energy, use that friction, use that static of mind, moving around, jumping around, to become more curious, more interested, more aware of this just sitting, just breathing, just being aware. At this moment, it doesn't matter what comes up. It doesn't matter what we experience. It's simply another reminder to return, to rely on, to be more and more curious, more and more closely looking at this just sitting, just breathing and being aware. Returning again and again to this simple, direct experience. Just sitting, just breathing, just being aware. Whatever we get involved with in our body or mind, that is to be let go of. That is to be put down and not relied upon. That is the impetus, the encouragement, whatever we get involved with at any given moment, to refresh and restart, to begin again. Coming back to this simple, gentle, wholehearted practice. And we can experiment. This just breathing doesn't mean just breathing like this or like that. Maybe we need to breathe a little bit more deeply. Maybe we need to breathe a little bit more gently. Just allowing ourselves to breathe. Just allowing the body to come to a rest. And the mind also coming to a rest. That is, that we're simply practicing the meditation method. We're simply breathing and being aware. No need to solve or to think. No need to reject. Just breathing and being aware. Don't fight the mind. Don't even interfere with the mind. Let the mind be the mind. Let thoughts be thoughts. Let the body be the body. Be uninvolved with anything. Only this breath, this body, this sitting here, this facing, this being aware. Relax, release, refresh, restart. Whatever you've got to do, you can do it. Just sitting, feeling this joy, this freedom, this peace. This clarity. All we need to do right now is breathe and be aware. We are just like the mouse. We think that if we go somewhere else, do something else, if we can just take a bite of the cheese, that we will be satisfied. It is simply a trap. Smell the cheese, taste the cheese, and then step back. Detach, let go, return to following the breath, being with the breath, a deep sense of curiosity and interest in the body and breathing. As we practice, we should bring up more and more interest, more and more sincerity in being fully with the body and the breath as it's happening. Whatever happens in the mind, do not become involved. Just tumble deeper and deeper into this state of breathing and being aware, being fully with the body, fully aware of the whole body sitting here, just breathing. With our eyes closed, it is just like we are looking inside, being fully with the gravity, the fullness of this moment. The awareness of our whole body sitting here right now. You don't need to be shy. You don't need to be afraid. This body is no other than the body of Buddha. These deeper states of mind are no other than our ordinary, regular life. It's just to be with this body, this heart, this breath, and to know more and more deeply that this is the body of peace. This is the body of wisdom. This is the breath of mindfulness and detachment. So we give even more attention to it, even more presence to each and every breath, flowing in and flowing out. Whatever you get tangled up in, put it down, let it go. Whatever fog of the past, the future, or thinking that we find ourselves in, just return, come back to this fresh, clear, simple breath right now. Just sitting, just breathing, just being aware. So, our practice is not only just sitting, just breathing, just being aware, but it is to know that that is what is going on right now. That is what we are doing. Practicing mindfulness and detachment to be aware of continuously what is happening right now. And to let go of, to put down, to detach from whatever we get tangled up in, whatever we get involved with. Each and every moment, giving so much attention and care to this precious breath. This interesting, curious, almost odd state of breathing. It's really curious. It's really essential. It's really precious. Through that truth of the preciousness of the breath, not only do we take a great interest in it, not only do we give a great deal of attention to the breath, but we also understand that this is something for us to rely on. We don't rely on our preferences, our judgments, our stories. They are not reliable. But this breath, this meditation method is reliable. So we come back, we return at this moment to following the breath as it flows in and flows out. Releasing and relaxing any tensions that we are holding in the body. And at least for a moment, to put down completely this me, this I, this good and bad, this self and other, this past and future, and to pick up the breath as it flows in and flows out. If we happen to feel any strong pain or uncomfortableness at this point in our meditation, we really practice to be gentle, patient, and non judgmental with that pain while facing it. And also, we can check in right now with our real ability to endure pain, to be with uncomfortableness in a simple and stable way. So we both practice that and we also recognize we have this ability, this capacity to be with pain in a non reactive, non confrontational way. That it's okay to feel uncomfortable. That we can be with uncomfortableness. We can even give a kind of kind and friendly attention to our uncomfortableness, to our pain. At this time, we can bring up a sense of gratefulness, a sense of appreciating this moment, and appreciating how we've showed up for this period of time. And we can recognize where we are at this moment, where we truly are at this moment. And that place is unspeakable. taking a few deep breaths, feeling the presence of the present in the body. As we breathe in deeply, feeling the whole body full of this awareness, this brightness, this presence. And as we breathe out, letting go. So we can open our eyes if they are closed. We can begin to slowly stretch our body, to stretch our legs. We can also give self massage, especially to our face. We can massage our face and our head, massaging out any of those tensions or foggy thoughts that come up. Any place in the body, such as your legs or your knees or your shoulders, that had a tension or a pain, you can massage those areas. Stretching and yoga are um, good practices that we can do before and after meditation. And the meditation practice that we emphasize today, this meditation method of just sitting, just breathing, just being aware, uh, we can practice this in any activity at any time. So when we are sitting down on the bus, you can practice just sitting. When you are at the grocery store or talking to someone or going for a walk, you can practice just breathing. You come back to the meditation method. You rely on the meditation method in your daily life. It's something you can rely on. And in the same way, when we have those strong experiences of an emotion or a difficult situation, a major confusion, we can rely on, rather than trying to act, trying to engage in some way that resolves that confusion or resolves that problem, we can pick up the method of just being aware. Just be aware of what you are experiencing. And so in this way we bring these meditation methods into our life, and we consistently make these refresh points in our normal lives, our daily life activities. And it's very important that the meditation isn't something that we just leave on the cushion, but it's something that we bring with us as much as we possibly can. So, from our meditation session today, are there any questions or anything to share? Someone must have a good question. Well, I'm still learning about Vietnam. I'm learning about Vietnam through my experience of meeting people here and being here, and I do have quite a few Vietnam student or followers that I've been working with online, but being here and meeting people face to face is a little bit different. So, in some sense, you can say Vietnam is a Buddhist country. Um, in some sense, there's some work by the government to suppress Buddhism. So, for example, if I had the support and I wanted to start a meditation center in Vietnam, that would be difficult. There would be government involvement and all kinds of different things that would come up if I tried to do that. So that's one aspect of it. The other part of it is that, so in Buddhist countries, this priest class is kind of still very alive and a very kind of recognized part of society. That this person, a monk, is a spiritual practitioner, and maybe there's some other connotations that would go with that in a particular culture. But there's, if you see a monk, like if in the West you see a monk, right, you don't really know what that is. You have a very vague idea about, okay, this is, that's a monk. Maybe they do karate, or they're supposed to be in the forest. Anyway, you don't see monks. You never will see a monk. But in Vietnam, when someone sees a monk, they know that this is like a devotee, a meditation devotee, or something that's very still alive in their culture, in their society, whereas in a Western society, there's not that. Um, Today, I was walking on the street. I went to the beach and I was walking back, and some people pulled up beside me on, their motorcycle, and then gave me a bunch of money and bowed to me. So that's not going to happen in Sweden. So that's another difference. Is there's a you know yeah, maybe they'll give me a watch. No, that's Switzerland. Are you in Switzerland or Sweden? Okay. Well, look, I got yeah. Well, when you train your mind, okay, when your mind becomes very powerful, then you have a big impact on other people and you have an impact on society as a whole. When you have a institution that is founded on training your mind, you have a lot of people working together, influencing society and being very influential and very powerful in a variety of ways. So if you are a authoritarian or government, or if you are a government that very very much prioritizes maintaining your position of controlling and being in power, then it's a big issue to have an alternative large group of people that are being followed and influential, etc. So the example of that in Vietnam is that previously there was an independent, like a Buddhist union or a Buddhist organizing body, Buddhist council, maybe a couple of them. And then in some point, around the Vietnam War and the Vietnam era, that was just, destroyed, and they made one that was from the government. So, like a government overseen Buddhist council. A good example of this is when Thich Nhat Hanh, so everybody knows Thich Nhat Hanh, right? In this server, I often talk about him. So Thich Nhat Hanh was banished for a long time from Vietnam because of his anti-war stance and these kinds of things. So eventually, in the 2000s, before he got sick, he was welcomed back, and he even got permission to start a center, to start monasteries in Vietnam. But immediately that became very successful. Like everyone wanted to go there, and many monks and nuns want to be a part of his community. So they end that. They took the property, they closed that place down. They didn't allow him to do that. Um, so there's a lot of different dynamics in Vietnam, but a lot of the people are Buddhist. A lot of the government is Buddhist, but it's also a repressive government, suppressive, repressive, those kinds of things. And in general, there's a lot more support. There's a lot more Buddhist people, and there's a lot more people who know about Buddhist monks, and so there's a lot more. It's easier to be supported. There's more places to stay. There's more. For me personally, there's more monasteries I can stay at, or there's more people who would be happy to host me and kind of facilitate me in living here and being here. Yeah, it is, and I'm happy to be here. I'm waiting to see how the visa process comes out, um, because right now I just have a 30 day visa, um, and I'm trying to get a longer visa. So waiting to see how that fleshes out. All right. Anyone else have any questions? Certainly, there must be a few. There we go. Okay. Hmm. No, you're doing it. You just need to keep doing it. You need to understand that you're part of a community and you're not alone in what you're doing, and that there are people who have become more successful in doing what you're doing, and that you can do that too. And that people care about you and will support you to continue doing this. You know, I consider myself to be one of them. And it's just a matter of showing up again and again and again. You show up as much as you can. And those initial times, those initial practices are, you know, facing the demon and seeing that, well, geez, it's just a cloud. This demon of our addiction, of our past unskillful things, the momentum of our unskillfulness is just a phantom, it's just a ghost. But we're not going to really understand that until we face it more and more, you know, face it continuously. And you've already gotten started, you're already participating. So you just keep showing up, you keep doing the work in a simple way, in a sincere way. And, you know, the good effects from that will continue to present themselves. There's also the option of, Morgan recently went to a residential training center, and there are places like that that are available. I think you'd be a good fit, Kat, at a place like that if you have the opportunity or the good conditions to go. Not necessarily where Morgan went, but a residential training center, and that can also bring about a lot of big change, a lot of big effect in your practice developing. But just keep at it. That's what's important. And don't overthink it. Be compassionate and gentle with yourself during the whole process. You know, it's this ability to endure and to face and not to give up and not to be so scared by the fear, the difficulty. Is just to keep facing it, and becomes less difficult, becomes less scary. And be patient, especially be patient because you're involved in doing the work. You're involved in doing good deeds. You're involved in mindfulness. You're involved in detachment. You need to be patient to give your desires time to, time to reduce, time to let go, time to fall away. And they will for sure, because the intention is there, and the sincerity to take the steps is there. So you just got to be patient. Keep at it. Okay, good. Okay, who's next? Who else has a good question? Okay, Disa. Yeah, problems are opportunities for success. That's all. That's how you see them. Um, and we want to develop our mind where we're not so worried about failure. We're not so worried about not getting what we want. If you don't get what you want, no problem. You can still be content. You can still be satisfied with your body, with your mind, with your breath, with whatever's happening right now. The same, we want someone to be nice to us and they'll be angry with us. We want to be praised. I want to be praised, right? You want to be praised, but instead, appreciated, oh, this person's so good, etc., right? But instead, we're blamed. It doesn't feel nice. We don't really like it much. And yet, there's still this capacity to be okay with it. And that's not in getting rid of it, that's not in avoiding it. It's just that actually we can accept what we're experiencing, and through that acceptance the content of that experience is less important. Our acceptance is more important. Our contentment is more important. Oh, this is this isn't what I wanted. This wasn't what I wanted to happen, and yet it's okay. So with that mindset, with that wisdom, you just try, and if you don't succeed, it's not that big of a problem. You'll try something else. You'll take a different avenue. So there's not much to worry about. You just to if instead of worrying about it, you can just kind of, oh, that's I really need to consider that. I really want to look closely at that and consider about that. But if it doesn't go your way, that's also fine. You just to be content and grateful and appreciative of what you have right now, and understand that what you have right now is always going to be with you. Heaven or hell, falling from the sky or sinking in the ocean. This this blue sky, this freedom, this freshness, this open heart is going to be here right now. This ordinary mind is going to be here right now. And that's the ideal place. That's the ideal thing to be content about, grateful for. Success, failure, praise, blame, it's all a part of the ordinary mind. And we can be grateful and satisfied and awakened by seeing this ordinary mind as it is right now. We come back to our meditation method. We come back to refreshing and restarting. And then, you're homeless. Well, now you have a lot of time to focus on your meditation method. You have a lot of time to be content. You have a lot of time to be grateful. So you don't need to worry about what happens. You just need to try and take care and remember meditation method. Remember this way of coming back to the present. And then, things will work out. And if they don't work out, that's also fine. Nothing to worry about. Okay. Thank you. Any follow up to that, Disa? Yes. Okay. Anyone else? Oh, maybe someone writes something in Discord. Let me check here. How about Daniel? Daniel, do you want to ask a question? No, you're just to be generous. It's more about your intention. You don't need to worry about what's good or bad. You need to worry about trying to do good, and that is trying to be helpful. That is being generous. That is being kind. That is being patient. That is being forgiving. But you learn through experience. So if you touch a hot stove, that's bad. If you make coffee with hot water, that's good. If you try to drink boiling hot water, that's not good. That's bad. So we just learning through experience, but with the intention to do good, that is the intention to help, the intention to take care. Um, this is what we're talking about when we say doing good deeds. It's to practice like this in using your we went reading an article yesterday or the day before about this purpose of life, that which can give us meaning. Um, and that is basically what I've been saying, but I'll give you the quote as well. That is um, to contribute ourselves. So emphasizing this idea of contributing yourself, contributing, offering, sharing your body and mind for the sake of benefiting and advancing. So benefiting and advancing, these are also good answers to this question of what is good. What is good is that which benefits and advances yourself and others. Developing and increasing in merit and wisdom. So that is developing and increasing in the good effects of your good deeds and also in the insight, the wisdom, the depth of experience that you get from continuously, again and again, offering yourself, contributing yourself, rather than trying to distract from yourself. So then we start to get some wisdom. We start to get some insight into what's good, what's not, what works and what doesn't. But really, we don't have to think about it. Go and clean public toilets. Go and pick up trash. Um, go and buy something for a homeless person. It's really your intention to do good, to benefit, to advance, to help yourself and others, and to participate in that. That's doing good deeds. Meditation is also a good deed. What what works and what doesn't in terms of what works and what doesn't in terms of ending and relieving sufferings. That would be the rule. What you do that either cultivates wholesome mind states, lofty, peaceful, free mind states, or the opposite. So according to what you do, you will develop more wholesome mind states, or you will develop more negative, unskillful mind states, suffering, depressed mind states. So that's skillful or unskillful actions. Basically like that. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So we will finish off today with we will finish today with some chanting. Yes. What's your question? Yeah, it's good. It's very good. I'm happy to hear that. So just keep showing up, just keep trying, just keep putting forth the effort, and we'll see what happens. But you have to show up if you want to know about it. There's no other way to do it. You have to show up. You want to get the answer through your own experience. So to do that, you just have to show up and to practice, either, in our group meetings, in our events, or in your own practice. Whichever one it is, just show up, continue, and we'll see what happens. Okay. So we'll finish up with some chanting. It's not clear yet what we'll be chanting, but it may become clear in a moment. Okay, so we will be doing a little bit of Buddhist chanting. If you know it, you can follow along, but I'm not very good at chanting in a way where people can follow along, so you're invited to just listen deeply, and I will share the um, sweet sounds of Buddha with everyone. Okay? We can all bring our hands together. That is a kind of expression of our sincerity and our presence, our attentiveness to this moment. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava araham samma sambuddho Vija charana sampano sugato lokavidu Anutaro porisa dhammasarati Satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati Svakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Opanayiko Pachatam Beditabo Vinuti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sango Ujjupati panno bhagavato sawaka sango Nayapati panno bhagavato sawaka sango Samichipati panno bhagavato sawaka sango Yadidam chatari porisa yugani Atta Parisa Pugala Esa bhagavato sawaka sango. Ahuneyo bahuneyo dakineyo Anjali karaniyo Anutaram punyaketam lokasati Sadhu. 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 May all beings be well, happy, and peaceful. May all beings be free from suffering. May our practice benefit all beings, and may all beings benefit from our practice. May it be so, may it be so, may it be so. Thank you all for joining, for being here, for your practice, and see you again soon. Okay? Okay. See you soon.